Ariel Helwani post-fight at Strikeforce in San Jose alongside Strikeforce CEO Scott Coker. And Scott, I got to say, it seems as though Strikeforce on a bit of a roll here with that show in December, this show tonight. A lot of action, a lot of good finishes. How'd you feel about this one?
It was an exciting night. Anytime Nick Diaz fights, it's just, he always brings it. And, styles make fights. And I always said Evangelista and him and Nick would be in the center of the cage, and they're going to start unloading. And really, there's a point where, I thought Nick took a lot of leg kicks. Might start slowing him down. But the guy's just a machine, and he just kept coming and eventually finished the fight. And it just proves that, Nick Diaz is a well-rounded mixed martial arts fighter, not just a stand-up guy, not just a ground guy. And, he did a great job finishing him tonight.
Is Nick Diaz the most dominant fighter in Strikeforce, considering the fact that he's now defended his title 3 times, hasn't lost in a very long time? The gap between him and the contenders at 170 is getting larger. What do you think about that?
I mean, in a fight, anything can happen. So you never know. But, we had, like I said, the Strikeforce poll, and, had over 100,000 people vote. And Nick Diaz, won Fighter of the Year, was nominated for Fight of the Year, and or actually won the Fight of the Year, and also won the Fight of the Year, which was the KJ Noons fight. And his last 2 performances were just unbelievable. And, we're very happy, and we look forward to putting him in some more big fights this year.
What do you think when his leg was getting attacked like that in the first round? That was shades of Melvin Manhoef and Robbie Lawler.
Yeah, I mean, those leg kicks will slow you down, and I thought that it was going to, affect his mobility and his ability to move in and out. But it didn't. The guy is an Iron Man. I mean, he's an amazing athlete, and he proved why he's the welterweight champion for Strikeforce.
When we talked in December, we did our backstage interview. You talked about how you don't like to be visible. You sort of, stay in the background. But I did notice you in the cage after the fight, and we don't see that from you often. Why were you there?
Yeah, I mean, I was there last time too, and I just go say congratulate the fighters, and let them do their TV thing and get all the accolades out of the way, and then I go in and congratulate them and try to get a picture with them, because it's, for me, it's a special moment in time as well, because these guys are representing the league, and something for me to have as a keepsake in the future.
What happened at the end there with Nick and apparently some fans? They were going back and forth.
I was on my way to the cage when I guess some fans got unruly, and there's some people right behind me that were not Nick Diaz fans and didn't really like the fact that he was winning the fight. And when the fight stopped, they got a little bit unruly. But the arena's great. They can handle situations like that, and they did it. But it's an isolated incident. I mean, how many great events have we had here? And this is the first time I've ever seen anything like that happen.
In the back of your mind, were you thinking, here we go again?
No, because the cage is locked down. That was, the cage is locked down. But I'll tell you,
you know who was sitting there, right?
I know, because I know.
Who is it?
You know what? I'll have to look at the seating chart. But I know the group that was a little bit unruly, and maybe we won't see him here anymore.
Fernando Vargas and Nick Diaz, they've been talking a lot now. Is he able to go out and box? Cesar Gracie says yes.
One thing I will say about that is I think Nick will be very busy in MMA this year. And so if we can fit it in, great. But you know what? He's going to be busy. So that's just the reality of his schedule.
It seems as though Paul Daly is the #1 contender. So why are you letting him fight for Bama on February 26th? Well, isn't that a risk?
I'll tell you, it is a risk. But, we offered Paul this fight, to fight Nick
before Cyborg.
Well, we offered him after his last fight. We said, would you like to fight? And he's like, look, Nick's great. I need to get a couple tune-up fights and get a couple more fights, and then I'll come fight him. So it was his decision to take that risk. But if he comes out victorious, we'll have him in the cage. If not, then he'll have to wait in line.
And perhaps then Woodley gets the shot.
Yeah, then I think Tyron by the end of the year could be the guy to fight Nick. And what I mean be the guy is, I don't think I think he's in 2 or 3 fights. But the Miller fight is not out of the question either. And Nick says, I just want to get paid and all that. But you know what? I think he's doing quite well. He got a nice new contract. He should be very happy. He can go buy any car he wants, go buy a house, go buy whatever he wants to do.
Let's quickly run through the rest of the card. Herschel Walker looked very good. Better than you thought?
Better than I thought. And it's he's in great shape. But to me, it was, and for him, it's more than just the fight. It was a journey getting to the fight. I'm happy for him. I mean, he's been a great representative for martial arts, and he really lives the Budo way, and so to me, he was so relaxed and so calm. and let's see what's next for Herschel. Personally, he might not ever fight, but you know what? I know he'll be training. Believe me, he's going to be in that gym working, trying to get better, and doing it.
He doesn't want to commit to a next fight. What are the chances in your mind of us seeing him again there, perhaps against a tougher opponent?
I'll tell you, that's something that we'll have to talk to Herschel about. But I mean, if this was his last fight, this might have been his last fight of his career, and that's okay. And I feel like it was something that we helped make happen for him, and it was great. And of any fighter in the whole history of MMA, there's not been another person that's garnished the media that Herschel Walker has been, has achieved the media that Herschel has for this fight.
Who's next for Jacare?
Boy, I tell you, Jacare, he's a beast, man. He is just. But you know what? With Jacare, I think we're gonna put him back in the cage. I think in the next 2 or 3 months, we'll probably have something for you next week.
Maybe Mayhem.
It's possible, even though he's like, whatever, But you got to beat Mayhem twice, but we'll see.
And Roger Gracie looked fantastic. Once again, he's 4-0 now. He fought a very tough guy, a very respected opponent. Where does he go from here?
He gets right in the mix. I mean, when you think of the 205 division, you got Feijao, Henderson, but you got Gegard Musashi. You got
fighting Mike Kyle, right?
That's not locked down yet. And then you got Roger Gracie, and you got King Mo, and you got OSP up and coming. So we got some good fights that we're going to be putting together.
Okay, final question. Wanted to get your take on a situation that's been brewing with a fighter by the name of CR Bahadurzada. He's been saying some things about Strikeforce, now saying that the reason he hasn't fought for Strikeforce is because of he's of Afghani descent. How do you respond to this?
That's comical. I mean, the reality was that I still don't even think his P1 visa is finished yet. It has been a little tougher because the country and everything to try to get him a P1 visa, but I don't think the P1 visa has been completed. So once he gets through his process of getting his P1 visa together, then we'll have another conversation with him. But it's silly to say, it's based on this or that. I mean, the reality is, look, you're a Golden Glory fighter. He should act like a Golden Glory fighter and get your paperwork done, get what you got to do, and then we'll put you in the cage and test you out. But in the meantime, talking the way he did it just seems very silly to me.
Has that perhaps severed your relationship with him?
With Cyril?
Yeah.
No.
The things that he said about the organization.
The relationship is with the camp. It's not with the fighter. So to me, Boss and I have done many business deals together. And, we have Alistair here, we have Karatanov here, we have Marlos Kunin here. So we have a good relationship with the camp. So he's one of the fighters in the camp. And when he gets his act together, we'll put him in the cage.
What are the chances that we see him in a Strikeforce cage in 2011?
You know what? I would say, once he gets his P1 visa stuff done, then we can determine, because
you'd like to see him fight for Strikeforce, right?
Sure, why not? Why not? I mean, he's I can understand his frustration because he doesn't understand because he's so far away and whatever. But in saying that, though, you know what, Ariel, he also has to act as a professional. And if he can't, then we're not going to have him. So.
All right, Scott, we appreciate the time. Congratulations on a very successful event.
Yeah, it was fun. A lot of fun, guys.